The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
But from Spanish to English, he's going to answer in Italian. I will be translating from the outset from Italian to Spanish. Okay, is that all right? I don't know if it's a big moment as a manager, as a coach. Tomorrow at stake. How do you think you can find a way to beat Manchester United tomorrow? It's going to be a special game for me tomorrow. It's our way of getting through to the quarterfinals. It's a big opportunity for us. We'll be playing 100% to try and achieve that. We know it's a tough task, and we're going to suffer throughout the 90 minutes or longer. It's a very special game tomorrow night for Seville. Very important game for us. To keep going and trying to get through to quarterfinals would be great for us. It's a big competition. It would be the first time in 60 years for us to get through to this stage. We know we've got to score first and foremost to get through. We've got a lot of confidence in our own ability. We know it's going to be tough. It's a very competitive, even Stevens game. Do you have a problem at right back tomorrow night? Navas and Cochilla have stayed behind in Andalusia. Could Escudero play on the right-hand side? Because you've got a few options there. I don't have that many options, to be fair. One could be Escudero playing there, or Mercado. I think that whoever plays there... He put a mix of Castilian in there. I hope you understood. There's not too many options. Mercado, Kier, and Mercado, Escudero. That's the list of options that we've got for that. There's no one else to choose from, so that's all we've got, one of those three. Do you feel comfortable going into the game? Do you feel comfortable being favourite, or do you consider Manchester as the favourites to go through? We know we're playing against a great squad of players, a great manager, a club with a great history. We're just going to give everything we've got. We know that it's a game. It's a very difficult ground to come to with an opponent with a lot of. They're a heavyweight team. They've got a lot of history. We'll be doing the best we can to try and get through to the next stage. It's going to be very, very tough for us, but there are situations where we can capitalise, and certain it'll be details which decide the game. I wanted to ask you in Italian. What did you find as what have you inherited this Seville from the former Argentinian manager Sampaoli? Do you think that the two Argentinian internationals, Mercado and Benega, do you think they're going to play an important role tomorrow night?
Claro che l'allenatore prima di me hanno lasciato qualcosa a questa equipe e sono contento anche per Mercato e Banega che si meritano di andare in nazionale, insomma, sono molto contento per loro.
We know Seville is a team which has its own identity, its spirit, its history. Sevillismo is a special. Seville fans have got a lot of spirit and fight in them. I can tell you that I'm very, very happy with Banega and with Mercado as well. Both Argentinians, very happy with their performances. In the first leg, Seville went out on the attack. They created chances, just didn't manage to convert any of them. Do you think that you'll have a chance to create some chances? You're going to sit back or are you going to attack them, go out on the attack? Every game is different. We've got to play with our own characteristics. We've got to play our own game. We've got to create our chances, obviously. We've got to try and score. Impose our quality on the game in our own particular style. All games are different. We've got to play with our own characteristics, play with our own style, our own capacity, try and take chances when we create them. Saying that the translator is pretty good. Evening. Marca Radio. You've shown, since you've been at Seville, you really trust certain footballers. Are you worried? Because tomorrow night's going to be a very physical game. And is your team up to it, that physical challenge? I am worried, concerned, like I was in the first leg. Manchester has a big side, a strong physical, strong side. The same, I'm expecting that tomorrow, the same as the first leg. That's quite usual. We've got to be, this level in England is very physical and they're strong. Are you worried about the effectiveness of your strike force currently? No, I'm not worried at all, no. I think the team will create chances. I think we are doing that. We're creating chances. It's the same players that have been scoring earlier in the season. We just know we have to be a little bit more decisive in front of goal. More clinical in front of goal, have a clinical edge. And hopefully we can do that tomorrow and start to put things right in front of goal. How do you take on the game tomorrow night? Did you see that the team in the first leg were a little bit innocent how they played? Do you think you'll play more with your heads tomorrow night? Yes. This is a sort of game where it's necessary to we're going to have to know when to defend, and we're going to have to know when we can try and break out on attack. I think that it's a sort of game where you need to use your head and see what happens. Play at the right moment. Play your football at the right moment. Depends how each situation plays out on the night. We know we need to slow things down at the moment, accelerate and speed things up at a moment. We know when we need to defend and when we need to attack, according to the demands of the game at each moment.
There you get your headphones on. I'm just wondering whether there's an element of frustration that you've not brought a lead to Old Trafford after the dominance you had in Seville, and whether you're catching Manchester United in a much better moment after their victories over Chelsea and, of course, Liverpool on Saturday.
No, non tengo frustrazione per la.
No, I don't think we can put too much on the first leg. We played a great game. I know that. At that time, we have to... Sorry. We've got another chance tomorrow night. It's another opportunity for us. We know that Manchester United won on Saturday against Liverpool. They beat Chelsea as well. And they came back against Crystal Palace, so we know that. That's not a surprise to us. They're on a good run at the moment. We hope that we can interrupt that good run that they're having. Hopefully we can do that tomorrow night. There's one or two criticisms how United played in Seville. Did it surprise you how they played in that way, so defensively? And do you think tomorrow, the fact that they're at home and they've got to go out and win the game, do you think that would suit Seville or favour Seville? Looking at the squad and the team that United had out in the first leg, they had some really attack-minded players. Lukaku, all the rest of them, they've got some positive attack-minded players. I think tomorrow I expect Manchester United is going to be very positive. They'll have an offensive lineup full of attacking players. We've spoken a lot about the chances that we missed in the first leg. Players that aren't converting chances. In 2 games against Atletico Madrid and Valencia, do you think we actually were outdone by defensive errors? Do you think Manchester United might be taking advantage of defensive errors in the middle of defence? Are you worried about that tomorrow night? I think that we win together and lose together. It's about the group as a whole, not just individual players. It's all about our team spirit. We don't concentrate on individual issues. I think it's just about going out there with confidence. I can't criticise the players at all because they always put everything into every game, always. I can't blame the players in any way. Hi, how's it going? In the first leg, you showed that you're an admirer of Jose Mourinho. Do you think there might be a chance, one chapter in your book, there's a chance to beat him at home? I don't think Mourinho is used to losing matches at home very often. It would be good just settling for a 1-1 draw, I think. That would do me.
Given your problems at right back and Navas, someone who's obviously very experienced, being absent, are you going to have to change the back line? You're going to have to go to a 3-man defence, and how much disruption does that cause for your side against one of the strongest attacks in Europe?
I think that in this game, such a high standard, it's important to have the same principles of play. You can't suddenly change tactics. You can't change in a different defensive lineup. I think you've got to prepare the game, work hard to try and see what we can achieve. For sure, we'll play a flat back 4 in our defence. I've just got to decide who's going to be those players filling the right back spot. Okay, any more? For any more? In the group stage game against Liverpool, there were 10 goals. Do you think it's going to be in that style, or do you think it's going to be a tight affair tomorrow night? I can't predict how it's going to turn out tomorrow night. I've said before that we've got to know how to defend well, together, compact, and we need to also know how to attack well when we get the opportunity. We can't predict how a game's going to happen or what's going to... Any more? Thank you, gracias.
Perfetto. Mejor come traduttore come ufficio.
We have simultaneous translation. I wondered where the interpreter was. Another extra pressure. Good evening. Welcome to Seville's press conference. As usual, we first speak to the player, Sergio Rico, the goalkeeper, and then we'll carry on with Montella and we'll see how things work with them, with their language, how it all works out. So, questions for the goalkeeper, Sergio, please. If you could identify yourselves, please. Over there. Hi, Sergio. Onda Cero. It's a historic game tomorrow night for Seville. I guess you feel that way, being here at Old Trafford for tomorrow night, trying to get through to the next round in the quarters. How do you see the game? Hi, good evening. Yeah, absolutely. Not just for Seville fans, but for me as well. It's a massive game, a really big game, very special above all. Trying to get through to the quarterfinals will be a chance to make history for the club, with which we're all hopeful and really excited by that, and really keen to do well and try really, really hard. Give everything tomorrow night. Hi, you said that you're in the Theatre of Dreams here. Does that make you think about your career, and is it a dream from when you were a kid, playing in a game like this and triumphing here? Yeah, of course. Yeah, this stadium it's an emblematic stadium for everybody in football. It would be fantastic to play here tomorrow. It's something I've always dreamed of, and above all, playing in this competition, the Champions League. It's a very important date for us. At the opposite end, you'll have David De Gea. You'll be playing with him in the World Cup in a few months. Let's hope so, if I can get there. But that's something we can talk about further on in the future. Sergio, what sort of Manchester you're expecting? The same as the first leg in Sanchez-Pizjuan, or another Manchester United? For sure, I think they've got a certain style of play, a system of play established. I think what we saw in Sanchez-Pizjuan, we saw it there. But I think in front of their fans, in their own ground, I think it might be different, for sure. I think they'll be more aggressive and more attack-minded, for sure. And the first leg, De Gea made a great save, great performance. Do you hope that you can repeat such a performance that he put in as a goalkeeper? Or would you prefer that you had less work to do than he had that night? Well, sincerely, I'd like to stand out. I'd like to be a hero tomorrow night. Yeah, the same as him. He put in a great performance that night in the first leg, and it would be great to try and put in a repeat for us. Apart from that, I think the most important thing is that the team is on form, that we're compact, that we defend well, and we defend together, we remain united, and united on the field. It's very important that while Seville managed to impose our style on the game, we'll see tomorrow what happens on the field, but we hope to put in a good performance and good work. Hi, Sergio. With the injuries that we've got in defence, do you think you might be having a different defence lining up in front of you? Is it the same? Is it making a difference to you if we line up with a flat back four, if we have full-backs playing further up the field? To be honest with you, me and the rest of the guys, we trust in the guys who are coming in to take the places of the players who are missing. We've got 100% trust in everybody, whether he plays right back or in the middle of the defence. We know that he'll give a good performance. He'll do everything that he can for the team and for this badge. The disappointment of Saturday, do you think you can put that behind you? Do you think that everything rests on this game to get in the Champions League for next season? Yeah, it was a tough defeat to take at the weekend because it puts us a bit off the pace now in the Champions League positions. But until it's mathematically impossible, we're going to keep working hard and trying and still trying to qualify for the Champions League. With our minds right and focused, knowing that you show your consistency in the league, and until things are mathematically impossible, we'll be trying as hard as we can to try and go with the Champions League route through the league. Any more questions for Sergio? We'll let him go now.